On my screen here is essentially a money printing machine. This is the welcome series for one of my clients. You can see here the first email in the flow has generated 131,000 US dollars within the last 30 days. I'm going to show you absolutely everything A to Z on how we were able to achieve these results so you can replicate it within your own brand. So let's jump into Figma now and let's look at some statistics and then the designs and the overall setup. So looking straight away here, we've got the very first email here. So we've got the total email sent, which was 5,709. So we take the delivered and the skipped ones. And then we're going to work out how many placed orders we had from this. So we had a placed order rate of 12.2%. So we're going to take 12.2% of 5,709. So that is 696 orders. And then we're going to take the placed order revenue that I just mentioned, which was 131K. And we're going to work out the average order value. So we're going to divide that 131K by 696. And so we get $188 from this. So we can go even further than this though and work out the revenue per email recipient. So we can actually take that 131K, divide that by the total number of emails sent, which again, 5,709, and that equals $22.94. So essentially every single time this email is being sent, which is all automated, the brand is receiving just shy of $23. So this is happening essentially every couple seconds of every day. It's just, yeah, as I said, it is a money printing machine. It's just constantly working for them on autopilot. Absolutely insane results. So here is the actual flow designs, everything we implemented for them. I've removed the brand name just for privacy reasons, but I'm just going to go through each email one by one, explain our choices and why we did that and how it was so effective. So of course, you can see here it is a total of 6 emails, so this spans across 6 days. You have the first email go out on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Um, some people will set up their welcome flows and the timings between these emails will be like 4 to 5 days. I would really recommend against doing that and just doing 1 days. When someone shows interest in your brand, they check out your website, they are the most primed to buy from you there and then. And so you just want to hit them daily, because if you're going 4 to 5 days, in that time Meta's going to pick up that they've been interested in your brand and they're going to start targeting them with other ads of other brands. So it's really important to just stay on top of that and just go daily on this. You'll see much better results. But so just to jump into, let's go into each individual email. So starting with number 1 here, this is just the welcome and coupon. So the whole point of this email, quick introduction on the brand, and just give them that coupon code straight away. They've signed up to the pop-up form and they want the discount code. Give it to them straight away, which is exactly why this discount code is high up in the email. So this means on mobile, no one has to scroll to receive that. They can open it and quickly hit that button straight away and finish their purchase if they so please. I'll see some brands where they'll have loads and loads of text and then the discount code will be at the very bottom. Definitely don't do that. So but of course, that doesn't mean that you just end the email there. There are going to be a percentage of people who do want to read a little bit more. So this is where we just do sort of a quick brand introduction. You know, why should they buy from you, sort of thing. So again, I've removed the brand name here, but essentially it's a little bit of background on the brand, showcasing like doing a bit of trust building. So obviously we've got here a nice little infographic, why researchers trust us, just building that trust with a new subscriber and things like that. But the main thing here is that we're just giving them that coupon code and then they're straight back in. So let's move on to day 2. So day 2, coming here, is going to be the founder's story / trust build. So for this one, we didn't necessarily do the founder like led email, but for some brands we will. Some founders want to be in front of their brand, which we really recommend, and so that this email would be coming from them. You'll see a lot of big brands do this, like Crafted, Dr. Squash, who else is there, Ridge Wallet, brands like that will do this a lot. But for this one, we're essentially just trying to build a bit more trust. So these guys are selling peptides, they're in the pharmaceutical space. So what's really important here is that we're building a little bit of trust. So we've just highlighted that we do have test results that people can view themselves. So yeah, super simple. That's day 2. Nice, short, plain text email. We are not dragging on and on and on with loads and loads of text. People will just never read it. Try to keep your plain text emails under 100 words or around that if you can. So yeah, so moving on, number 3. So this is going to be your best sellers and also the code reminder. So we're on day 3 now, and someone still has not purchased. So remind them of their discount code. People need to be reminded often, like they will forget. So no harm in that. So again, we're keeping that discount code really high up in the email, making it clear you've still got the code to use. But maybe they've gone a few days and they don't necessarily know what to buy just yet. So this is where you just highlight all of the best sellers for your brand. Just give them some options. Maybe you have best-selling categories for your brand, or maybe you do just have individual best-selling products. But either way, just list those here. So you can see we've listed out 8 of their products. I think 8 is probably the maximum you want to do. If you had this like 16 products long, people are going to get decision fatigue. It's too much. So somewhere between 4 and 8 would be great. And then also we'd have a final call to action to just shop all of their compounds. So yeah, simple stuff. Moving on to the next email. This is where you would do highlighting some of your reviews. It could be some guidance depending on what kind of brand you have, and obviously support here. So again, here we're kind of offering guidance and support. We're just, yeah, as you can sort of see here, we're going over like have people check out the frequent answer questions, and just a few nice infographics about the brand, like what they can expect, a few things like that. For your brand, maybe it makes more sense that you highlight some of your customer testimonials and you would highlight those here. You can definitely do that, but yeah, the whole purpose of this is the reviews or guidance or support. So now we're moving into email number 5. So we're 5 days in now, and someone has still not purchased. So this is where I would like to, where you would want to encourage a bit of urgency. So we're basically saying here, the discount code's going to expire soon. So it's, it's sort of time to act now, if you will. And so again, high up in the email, we have got that call to action button with the discount code here. And then down here, we have got some dynamic blocks where in Klaviyo, we can actually add in those products. So we have a product category set up where it basically cycles through the top 10 best-selling products. And then when some go out of stock, that means they're not highlighted here. So you can just have in whatever's the best-selling products and they're in stock at that time. So you would build that within Klaviyo, of course. And then again, another call to action to shop all the compounds. And then finally here, we have just got one more plain text email to go out the following day, just letting them know it is expiring at midnight. Of course, it's not actually expiring at midnight. It will continue, but you don't want to let people know that, and you just say it's going to expire. Like, this is sort of your last chance. So yeah, one more thing to note on all of these emails that I didn't previously mention is that you'll see on all of the designs, we have got a footer down here with a few buttons. This is really important. Absolutely every brand, you need a footer that has a few buttons, whether that's just going back to shop. Maybe if you're a clothing brand, you might have men's, women's, things like that. But for here, it just made sense to have people to access the shop, my account, support, FAQs. You really need to have this in. You will find that the click rates through these are actually really high. You might think because they're at the bottom of the email that no one clicks them, but they absolutely do. So the actual setup in terms of how this flow looks like, I'm going to show that over here. It is a little bit blurry just because of how I like screenshotted it on Klaviyo, but it's really simple. You set up the trigger. It's when someone is added to your email list, and then the profile filter is just placed order 0 times since starting the flow, which essentially means the moment someone makes a purchase, they don't continue through that flow. You don't want them going through the flow anymore. They've made that first purchase. It's time to move them into the post-purchase flow now. But essentially here, the setup is they're added to the email list, and then they instantly get that first welcome email. And then, as I mentioned previously, it's just a day in between those emails, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, all the way through. So that's the setup you want to have. And that's the setup we did for this brand, and again, generated well over 130K. That is every 30 days. That is incredible. If you are an ecom brand and you don't want to do any of this setup, you don't want to do the design, you don't want to do the hassle of email marketing, there's going to be a link in my description right at the top where you can book in a call with myself. It's completely free to do. We can just have a chat about your brand, about where your brand is in terms of email marketing, where you want it to be. I can give you some pointers, of course. And of course, if we're a good fit, we could potentially partner together. All of my clients get at least a 10 to 12x return. So I guarantee that in all my contracts. Obviously, this brand, they are getting way more than that. But yeah, I think that's going to cover everything today. I will see you in the next one.